All right. If you can believe this, we are already in the fifth week. We are starting week 5 of the Juuvafit challenge, and we are team hot to trot, and we are gonna hot to trot all the way to the finish line. Yes, ladies?
Yes.
Okay, the move of the week is flutter kicks. I'm here to tell you if I can do it in a hotel that doesn't have much space, you can do it anywhere. So, doing flutter kicks this week. I might even do it while we're in the car traveling because you can do anything for a minute. Just make sure that you don't get into your back, which I call a lethargic kind of a hunch. Make sure that you're keeping your abs and your glutes tight. You will have the maximum benefit for your waistline if you are in control of those flutter kicks. So it's not a matter of hurrying up and doing flutter kicks, but it's a matter of keeping the core tight while you do a very methodical flutter kick. So make sure that you're doing that correctly because you could throw your back out if you get sloppy and quick about it. So be body aware. Also the Juuvafit commit call last night was really good. It talks about food pairing to optimize your nutrition and your health and how things are processed through your body. I thought the presentation last night was funny when they were demonstrating how introducing a probiotic into your body kind of makes things go through the system more smoothly. And then, the last slide said smell you later. I thought that was funny. But really a probiotic does help to heal the gut and to move things that maybe aren't beneficial to you out of your body. So if you didn't get a chance to watch the commit call last night, make sure you watch it. It was a very good call. And I appreciated Diana mentioning me and doing baby steps and a little bit at a time. I was really surprised that she had mentioned that, but truly it's all about baby steps, consistent and persistent, which is what we talk about all the time, consistency and persistency. And on those days where maybe you're not doing so great because you're traveling or whatever, just to be mindful of our word that we chose at the beginning of the challenge. So those are all the announcements I have. If you have not checked in this week or in prior weeks, please get checked in because it is a challenge. You did commit to participating, and that is part of the participation. And it also helps me to set up how we're going to attack these weekly calls that we have because I want to make sure that whatever our focus is, that we're really working towards that. So some of us had a focus on better tracking. Some of us have a focus on working on our core strength and stability. Some of us have a goal of um, better food choices. So there's lots of people with lots of goals, but I think it's probably safe to say we all have similar goals. And I know for myself personally, my goal is to decrease the size of my waist. When I look at myself in a side view mirror, I'm not pleased with what I'm seeing. And so that is all contingent upon food choices and exercise choices and all of those good things. So that is what I'm focusing on, trying to track better. I'm tracking it here, but I'm not writing it down. And I need to do that to really hold myself accountable because a bite here and a bite there will add up, right? So Megan said on a previous challenge, if you bite it, write it. So it's a little bit difficult when you're at a conference with hundreds of people who think you're rude being on the phone. So I'm trying to be more mindful of that and do it after I step away. So I will go first. My word is hot. I am still focused on looking like the hot auntie at my niece's wedding in the fall, and it will not happen unless I continue to focus myself on my word and hold myself true to that. And my goal this week is to do better tracking of my food intake. Interestingly, I downloaded a chair yoga app, and I've been doing that in the hotel every day, and that's really helped me. Plus, it also is really kind of loosening things up and stretching and also building some all over core body strength. So that is my focus for the next week because we are not going to be back into town until you see me again next week. So I still have another week to hold myself accountable and I don't want the wheels to fall completely off the cart. So I'm trying to be mindful of my food choices and just remind myself that this week while I'm traveling, that all the wonderful things that are available to me, I don't need to go whole hog on. So Lori, I'll let you go next.
Well, my word was intentional. And my goal for next week is definitely tracking. This week was not a good week for me tracking. I kind of backslided a little bit because of emotional um, issues that I've dealt with in the last couple of years. But every day is a new day. So
That's
I'm just
great.
gonna get get back on track and start tracking better.
That's right. And you're worth the good choices, right? You're
Hmm.
worthy.
Yeah.
Excellent. Michelle,
My word is resilient because if I have a bad day, I can be resilient and rebounce, even if I have a bad morning or afternoon, right? We're resilient enough. I am resilient enough that I'm going to get back on track, not let it be a bad week or a bad month or, oh, maybe next year I'll lose more weight, right? Because we're worth it. And continuing to work on my tracking every little bite. When I'm cooking dinner, for example, every little bite adds up. And then I find that I'm over. And that's why I'm not losing inches, but not pounds, which is very strange, this challenge, because I feel more bloated. I don't feel the loss in the inches yet in my clothing, but when I measure, I lost inches, but no pounds. So
that's
I'm going to work
awesome.
on
So
that
your focus this week is what? Tracking?
tracking.
Tracking. It's interesting. Most of us, I think that is the most difficult part of these challenges is really tracking everything. And I did a lot of walking on my trip. We are up on the 12th floor and it is a long way out of the hotel to walk Roscoe. I don't even know how many miles a day I'm walking, but I would imagine I'm probably walking 2 miles a day plus doing the workout that I've been doing. So, every little bit helps. Let's see, today so far I have walked 2 miles just out and about with Roscoe. So even though it's not the 30 to 40 consecutive minutes that I'm used to at home, it's still movement is movement is movement. What I really appreciated about the commit call 2 weeks ago is they were saying, let's say you have a nice dinner out. We met a couple for dinner last night. I had toasted ravioli. I had veal parmesan. I had broccoli. I had a salad, but it was way too much, I'm sure. And so, but afterwards, we took a nice walk around this Italian village in St. Louis, which, by the way, is still just as wonderful as it was 40 years ago.
Oh,
And so, walking flattens that glucose curve, right? So I think that's why they're encouraging us to walk in the evening if we are able to, if it's not pouring down rain or so hot that we feel like we're going to keel over. But even just walking around the yard or anything, that will lighten the glucose spike. And I believe that will also help with all of our weight loss and wanting thinner waistline. So I think the three of us have very similar goals in mind, and it's wonderful. What I also didn't know is that for every inch we lose off our waist, in spite of how much weight we lose, we get bonus points for that. So make sure that when you check in that
ooh,
you're tracking, your waistline. I can't for the next 2 weeks while I'm checking in because I did not bring my tape measure with me, but I know by how your clothes are feeling, how you're doing, right? Right. So,
Mhm.
anyways, so the hydration is really helping me. What's been wonderful is I have stayed really focused on the hydration, the ginger turmeric muscadine and my magnesium that I take. And so my blood pressure has been perfect on this trip, which I've never had before. Because sometimes when I go off the cart, when the wheels fall off the cart for me. So I haven't been perfect this trip, but I have been tracking here and there, not as much as I should, but at least I'm more mindful this trip than I have been in the past. And we all want to try to be a better version of ourselves today than we were yesterday or even last hour. Even if you fall off the cart in 5 minutes, you can get back on. So don't feel like all is lost. Does anybody have any question? Comments? The
But
chair
the call,
yoga. Oh,
go
say that
ahead.
again.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say the chair yoga is amazing to me because I'm feeling it in my abdominals and all of my muscles. There's movements where you reach up high and you do this and you pretend like you're pulling down on a rope. It builds muscles in spite of, and if I wanted more, I could take a water bottle and add some weights or anything. So I'm kind of amazed at this 20 to 25-minute workout I've been doing every day. I feel it.
I bet. I did Megan and Travis's workout with the bands, the TheraBands, and
Oh,
it was a hearty workout for sure.
good.
And my other comment is the call last night, just thinking about synergy. I'm trying, if I do have a carb, then I know it's going to put me over. I try to pair it with a protein. I don't eat a naked carb, right? If I'm having it, but they were talking about synergy of foods that work well together, like
Yes.
ginger and lemon
Yes.
and all
And
those.
I need to do a deep dive. I might have some time tomorrow to do a deep dive into synergistic foods because Travis had recommended that we do our own deep dive into that. And if I find anything that's valuable, of course, I'll post it in our Facebook group. But I'm just really more cognizant. Like today, I had a salad for lunch, and so I had a tomato. They didn't have an avocado with it, but I had some extra olive oil on the dressing that I had because that fat will help everything. And then my protein was chicken, which was marinated in olive oil and herbs. And so I'm just trying to be a little bit more food aware, if you will. And so hopefully that will be helpful. So time will tell by next week when I get home. So anyways, if you gals are okay, I'm going to close the call out early. I don't know what happened to everybody else, but everybody's busy. This is a busy time of the year for everybody. So be safe if you're traveling, and I will see you guys next week.
Bye.
All right. Bye-bye. Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Thank
Have a great
you.
week, everybody.
You too.
Bye.
Bye-bye.